Yeah.
Juliana, meu amor. Quero que vocês, everybody is to know this woman right here, this Juliana. She's gonna be a part of us pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Tell us about Juliana.
Yeah, she is fabulous, and she's gonna be with us. She's ready, but she's gonna be in a proper way soon enough.
I hope so.
Welcome, Juliana.
Thank you.
So we're going to start just in a little bit, but we're just going to give a little bit of time for people to join in. And we're going to just enjoy some Brazilian music, because we have to have some Brazilian music for João.
Thank you.
Wow. No, thank you. Oh, I don't know whether, I think Janet's with us. Janet was playing music at the beginning. She inspired it. We were starting the sessions with music. And I was like, we've got to have some Brazilian music. Come on, Chloe, give it to us.
Samuel, meu amigo, Lisboa com a gente, que maravilha. Thank you for joining us, Samuca.
Vi sua chamada da reunião no Instagram e pronto, vou ficar aqui ouvindo enquanto eu trabalho.
Bom, me alegra muito, me alegra muito. Obrigado, irmão. Feliz de você estar aí com a gente. Já fico mais tranquilo agora. Juliana, Samuel, mais carinhas conhecidas.
Muito bem. Bom, vou desativar o microfone para que você consiga falar melhor, tá bem?
Tá.
Um abraço.
Oi, do you understand any Portuguese? How's it?
Who are you talking to?
Chloe? How do you
Chloe.
pronounce it?
I
Chloe.
understand. I understand. I don't speak. Now follow muito.
No need today. It's gonna be fine.
And Jennifer also said, Chloe actually came she did volunteering with SGM, and she came to Rio, and then pandemic hit. I was like, oh man. She was really looking forward to learning some Portuguese and enjoying Rio.
And
that's pretty sure. 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen with this Juliana girl that I just said, the moment she is together with us for the first time. You know, we've been working for the past 2.5, 3 years with the biggest gastronomy festival in Brazil. And we had a tendency to understand we have a lot in common concerning social concerns and how much gastronomy can be a very important tool to change things and to include people in this fight. That's why I'm so happy that she's here today. Thank you, Ju, again.
Thank you all.
So I'm just going to do a really quick introduction, because I don't think João needs much of an introduction. He's a big personality.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to say it's been quite a long week. We've been doing this food solidarity gathering here at SGM, and we started on Friday, but it feels like a month ago. There's been so many sessions, and we really just opened the space for the community to offer whatever they felt they wanted to offer, because there's just so much amazing talent and people doing amazing things. So our network's not a network of like huge numbers of people, but everyone in our network is on the ground doing something and making things happen. So we're really lucky that all of the people that have been participating, we've had some amazing sessions and quite a few magical moments. We've had tears, we've had laughter, we've had learning. It's been quite a journey. Just to let you know, just before the end of this session today with João, we're going to do a short poll. So if you can, respond to that, it will be about 10 minutes towards the end. This is a 1-hour session. And we're also recording a video because this is going to be amazing. And we want to be able to then share it beyond just the live, because we know how many people are busy and it's work days, etc., etc. So about João, I said to João, I'm not going to introduce like all your roles and what you do and all of this, because you can tell them about that. I said, but what I do know about João is we've been talking for a while now, and he's one of these kind of guys that he'll put himself anywhere. He'll wear whatever hat he needs to wear, because his purpose isn't the hat that he wears. Like, he's trying to bring a change into the world in terms of the perception of gastronomy as being a vehicle for us to really make change and to take care of our communities. And so sometimes he wears a government hat, sometimes he wears a social entrepreneur hat, sometimes he wears a facilitator's hat where he's just getting people together. And so he's like doing all these different things, and he's always doing it with this like great love and smile and energy and enthusiasm. And I'm so grateful, because he said to me, I really want to share what I've been learning. And we talked for such a long time about this. So I'm personally really happy today has come and that you're here to share, because really you've done some amazing work, and the way that you do it unorthodox, I think, can help a lot of us understand how to step outside the box. So João, please. The floor is...
I'm thrilled. I'm touched. I mean, I guess the amount of things that I do mostly without thinking. When I see myself, I'm already in it, and then there's no way back. I mean, you know, when we work with the social, there is no turning back ever. You just go ahead. I'm very, very happy to be here with you guys today, because as Q just said, we've been talking for a long time. The first time I was with Gastromotiva, which is the beginning of this whole thing, I sent Davi Hertz one message through Instagram, and I said, I'm going to be in Rio and I need to see you. And he said, come, and I went and I never left. And this was, I guess, 2017. Since then, I've been trying, and Q is a part of it, trying to be a part and trying to understand how this is going to work together, so that we could bring a bit of what happens in the northeast part of Brazil to this community. I have here Samuel with us. Samuel lives in Lisboa. He also worked in a social program in Amoraria, which is a very beautiful neighborhood in Lisboa, and he's living there, but he is from Fortaleza. So he understands a lot of what goes on here and what I'm going to talk about. As Q just said, I'm not going to spend some time here talking about myself. I'm somebody who decided to come back to his city after 17 years away, invited from the government to think gastronomy as public policy. And the moment you start doing this, you cannot only see one path, one way of dealing with it. You have to see the whole thing, especially the food chain, so that you can see how strong and how weak everything is. The social gastronomy entered in this whole thing because since we have very large number of people in vulnerability in the city. We just could not go on talking about gastronomy and developing the state and the city without looking at those people who need so much. So I live today, as Q just said, I have many hats. And for me, what makes me the happiest is to wear the hat of the social gastronomy fighter, because the government is going to pass, many things are going to pass, but the needs and demands of those people, they are going to be there. And as long as I can, I'm gonna be a fighter for this movement. I hope I'm not too boring. You guys, you can stop me anytime for questions. I'm here to tell a story today, a story about what happened from the very beginning of the pandemic to now. Let me see if okay, why doesn't it go? Yes. So I'm gonna talk about projects. Let me move this screen here. Projects during actions, projects and, oh, I'm getting nervous here. Projects and actions during the post-pandemia, aims and challenges. Well, guys, first of all, let's see a bit of who we are, where we are in our reality. I am Cearense, that means I was born in Ceará, this beautiful state in the northeast part of Brazil. Beautiful state. We have over 300 days of sun every year, which is a blessing. Our city, our capital is called Fortaleza, and we are now, considering the big Fortaleza, over 4 million people, which is a lot of people. But I would say, I mean, concerning to the data that we have, that over 500,000 are living in a very bad situation, in a very vulnerable situation. And these people happen to suffer a lot more during this, let's say 7 months of the pandemic, because many already didn't have what to eat, or the work was not enough for everybody. But the moment this started and the whole economy stopped, the ones who had the little money, the little income through small jobs, they lost it. So I believe, we don't have these numbers, but I believe that it almost doubled considering the number of people that we fed along the way. So Fortaleza is this beautiful city. We are the second most wanted tourism destination in the country, but we suffer a lot with the social inequity. So we were, yes. In the very beginning of this pandemia, I mean, we had the lockdown started on the 18th of March. 1 week after, me and 2 other friends, we thought we just cannot live locked in a house, and this is already too long. 1 week, we just couldn't stand in there. And one of those friends called Mariana Marx, she said, how about cooking? Don't you want to give a day so that we can cook and share this with people? And that's how it all started. That's what I just put there, Amor, which is the name of our group, starting in this very, very bad situation. So we decided to meet in a friend's restaurant, which was closed, and cook. We had some donations from close friends, and 5 people decided to go to the kitchen and cook. That day, we cooked 185 meals. And we were so amazed and so pleased, because we were the team group, we cooked. There was a team who would distribute this on the streets. And we were just amazed about the way that things happened. Another thing about Fortaleza is that we have the first social gastronomy school in the country, which is 100% free. And people can apply, especially people from vulnerable areas, can apply to learn gastronomy. It's somehow what David does with Gastromotiva, but in a state way. I mean, considering that it's supported by the government of my country, of my state. And talking to Selene, which is the main director, she said, you can cook and come here, and you can come and cook here. Guys, what I have to say is that from the moment we cooked 185 meals in a friend's restaurant, we made 5,000 meals in one day in a Escola de Gastronomia. We had around 15 volunteers, and the picture that you see right here is exactly the day that we finished around 8:30 in the evening after 14 hours working, and we had cooked 5,000 meals. I mean, this is just so incredible that even for me saying that, it's hard to believe that in one day we did all that. So that's how Away do Amor started. We were nothing legal. We were not an organization. We were not an NGO. We were just friends who were gathered by the feeling that we had to do something to fight this very bad time. People who understood that people were really starving during the situation, and we needed to do something. So that's how Away do Amor was born. Let me see if I can put it forward. Yes. We stayed around 1 month in this beautiful school. It's really, really, I guess, you see a picture here. This is the picture of, oh my God, what am I doing? This is the picture of the school. You see, it's amazing. It's on the top of a big dune in front of the sea. And the students, the first impression they have when they go in there is that, oh my God, do I really deserve to be here? Because those are guys who come from extreme, extreme poverty. And they enter a building made of glass with air conditioning everywhere. They're gonna be treated like kings because that's what people do in the school. And that's how we started cooking. After a month, that was the time we had to cook in the school. We had to find another place because that was the arrangement we had to be 1 month in the school. And then we thought, oh God, where are we going to be with such a good structure to cook 5,000 meals a day? Because we had already created the expectation in people that we would give away 5,000 meals every time we got together to cook. But without a place like this, it would be impossible. And then we thought we should find smaller kitchens in the community. We call community in the slums, in the favelas. And we started making some very good arrangements with very nice people from very poor areas in Fortaleza. And we set up 3 different kitchens to cook with us. I mean, we were not a big school of gastronomy anymore, but we were people from the poor area that were going to cook for themselves and for people who also need it. And see, this was an amazing experience because right at the same time that we set 3 kitchens, guys, is it too boring? You let me know.
No way, man. This is crazy. I'm like, I can't turn away. Keep going.
You're speaking from the heart.
Yeah, that's what's going on here.
Yes.
I said I was going to tell you a story, and I'm trying to remember the details of it without being so boring. But we have kitchens.
It's such a beautiful story. Go on.
Because
I said to João before, we spoke about this earlier. I think João just likes interaction. I've learned that from the Brazilian. It's too much to speak by yourself for too long. But I said to João, no, I don't know if it's boring. I said, João, you couldn't be boring if you tried. So just carry on.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful story.
Because
I didn't know everything about it.
We cannot talk about challenges without going through this first moment. I mean,
yes, of course.
3 communities, there's 3 kitchens. Then we decided to be 100% vegan. And that was already a big challenge because first, people are not in the poor areas, they're not used to eating vegan food. And there is a huge prejudice against that. But the reason why we wanted to make it vegan was because we wanted to use as much as possible of the ingredients we had around this kitchen. And most of them came from the field. So it would be cheaper because we didn't have any support from the government for anything. It was just donations, and we increased our marketing campaign, let's put it this way, through Instagram to gain more donations so that we could cook. So 1 kitchen was 100% vegan, 1 kitchen was 100% made by women from the community, and the 3rd one was in a very distant part, in which we had also those mothers from the community and students from gastronomy who decided to be together with us. So we had these three. But a very big organization called SENAC, which is also a very important gastronomy school here, they offered us their infrastructure to be the central kitchen. And then we thought, oh my God, first we had just the Escola de Gastronomia, and now we have 4 different kitchens. And then we went on. Then I guess the most beautiful moment happened in the whole thing. We have a tendency, at least I met many people who work with gastronomy, to make projects, to create projects for the community without asking the community what they really need. I mean, without being there to understand the real needs. We here, I mean, we have a good life, we live in good homes, we have food every day to eat, we can travel, we can meet our friends, and then out of nothing, we decide to make a social program. And then we think, what is it going to be nice for a social product? When many times when we come to an end and we present it, people accept because well, it's okay. But they never have the chance to hold your hand and say, let's draw this together. You see, it's not only food that we need. We need attention. We have very good professionals in our community who can work with you, with the media, with thinking, with the distribution. So why don't you come to us before creating a project to do it together with us? And then it was, bah, a hit. So all of a sudden we decide to create this vegan kitchen in the middle of a slum because we thought it was cool. Man, it's not like that. You have to ask them first, what do you eat? Because one thing is to satisfy your hunger. Something else is to eat what you like to eat because you're working, you're being heard, and instead of eating like sweet potato, you're eating, I don't know, black beans because that's what makes me happy. You know, so it was not only magical because we were feeding people, but we were feeding them with what they liked to eat. And the food was amazing, amazing. We had many different chefs working with us. Guys, and then another moment came. Kids. One day, out of nothing, we decided to make chocolate cakes. Let's make chocolate cakes. We gained a lot of flour, so we're gonna make cakes. The vision of the picture of seeing a kid eating a chocolate cake for the in her life changed my mind forever, because first it was this rush of sugar going into her organism and this happiness of having the chance to eat something so nice. And some had never eaten, and some asked, is it my birthday? That's why I'm getting cake. Well, you cannot imagine how many tears went rolling down my eyes in those moments, because yes, we were making a difference, not only in hunger, but also in the quality of life for those people and those kids. And then we went on cooking. The donations were coming. Then we thought, we can use this bigger kitchen of SENAC to really work as a school. So we started to make an exchange of people who were cooking in different kitchens to come to this main one, because there we had special stoves and ovens and everything from infrastructure that a big kitchen needs to have. And some of those guys had never seen anything else but a normal stove from home. So we started to make these rounds. People from all the kitchens would come to the main kitchen to learn how to use, to learn how to bake, how to make the cook, the cake, the sweets. And then it all turned into this big community of 85 people working together. So I don't even know which slide I'm talking about now. Love and Commando Kitchens are here to stay. I've already said this, and you see in this big picture, these guys, this was the vegan kitchen. Can you believe this? This was the garage of a guy's house, which turned out to be a very good friend of mine. Today, he's 21 years old, and he is one of the most intelligent guys I met, especially in which concerns understanding the needs of the community. And he was the one who said, stop making project for us without understanding us first. Leave, break your bubble, come to us and understand. Then our projects will be legitimate. And then we did it. And this was the kitchen, guys. And from this kitchen, from June until end of August, they produced 35,000 meals. Those guys in this little place. And all of them were vegan. So they, although it was our decision that the kitchen would be vegan, they decided to see if that would fit them. Let's give it a chance, because if you guys say it's so important, although you didn't ask us before, let's see if it's if it's worth it. And it was, because at the end we got some tons of meat and chicken, and they said we don't want it. We want to stick to the vegan process. It was beautiful to see.
Well, can I ask you why? Because, you know, I lived in Brazil for 9 years, and I know that there's a strong culture of eating meat. So it's not a small thing what you just said. And I'm curious to know, what was the value that they saw in it? Like, how did that all happen?
They saw the quality of the food, Q. The food was very well made. We chose the proper ingredients. I mean, we had things to replace meat in a way that, talking about nutrients, it would be very good. And talking about taste, it would be amazing. I mean, if you decide to eat vegan, you don't have to eat plant all the time. And what we wanted to show, for example, this rice that you've seen there, both of the foods, both of the pictures are vegan. So when they opened the little box, it smelled amazing, it tastes amazing, it had beautiful color, so why not? Let's give it a try, let's give it a chance. I mean, we can use it so much more from what's around us than expecting to receive tons of frozen meat coming from I don't know where. So this was also a very important part of this thing. So to make them understand that the quality of food can come 100% from the land. You see, in this way, we also respect our producers, which is amazing. So the chain, I mean, my mind thinks it works in chain the whole time. I cannot think of one point without understanding and seeing the impact of it at the end of the chain. And working with Awe was beautiful because of that. Let's see what comes here. The fourth kitchen, that's the Senac one. I forgot about the video. I don't even thought about the video, but we should at the end. This is the main kitchen. So the guys in purple t-shirt and pink t-shirt, they were from different kitchens coming to the main one to understand and to learn more, to reproduce it in the other kitchens. And this guy, this one here, he's 17 years old. He wrote me and he said, I don't know who you are. He was the son of a friend of mine, a distant friend. And he said, I want to be part of it. I'm thinking about studying to be a chef, but I want to see how this works. The moment he came, I said, what you're going to see here is not a real chef's life in what you have, like the basic idea, because people still think that being a chef is being a master chef and full of glamour and this thing. I said, what you're going to be here to see here is a group of people working 14 hours a day to make food for those who do not have what to eat. So he decided to come. I said, this guy's not going to be with us more than one day. And he stayed until the end. So this thing about putting so much love in what you do and so much effort and changing the way of eating and the respect you have for people. I mean, it's not only important because people are going to eat out of it, but because you're going to change the way people think about the future. So this guy, which is only 17 years old, I'm quite sure that this experience changed his life forever. because he saw the results of what he cooked in the hands of a child. And this changed you forever, forever. But everything happened, guys. We raised over, I'm going to say this in reais because the number is much more beautiful in reais than in dollars or in euro because the rate is awful at these days. But we raised over 600,000 reais and we cooked over 200,000 meals. We distributed 55,000 cestas básicas, we call this in Portuguese, which, Kio, help me, how do you say cesta básica in English?
Food basket, we call it. But it sounds much more beautiful when you say it in Portuguese.
Yeah, so it was a kit with basic ingredients, over 55 tons of it. We distributed over 10,000 masks, kits of hygiene, and we also made something that was very nice. The moment we saw that the kitchens were suffering a lot, much more than they used to, we created a small kit so that they could paint, they could color with crayons and with ink and with drawings, so that they could enjoy being a kid, not only eating a chocolate cake, but also being a kid for a short time. And this was also beautiful. We could manage to distribute over 4,000 of those kits in 49 communities in Fortaleza. So when I say those numbers now, guys, I'm really touched because it didn't seem possible at all that 3 friends decided to get together because they were bored to be home after a week of lockdown, and they gathered 85 lovely people working together to produce all that. And we were not an organization. I mean, I applied for this social gastronomy fund when they opened it, but we just couldn't get a hold of it because we didn't exist. We don't exist yet. I'm working now on legalization of our process. You see, it's crazy because we only got this money from friends, from companies who started to see our programs and donated money, donated goods. And then that's the main topic of our conversation here. And now the new normal has come. So what? What we do? What we understood first is that to keep on fighting for this aim, we would have to organize ourselves. We would have to become an association of some way that we could present ourselves, that we could have a number to present, I mean, officialize it. And it was very, very sad at the end of August when the donations were very, very little that we decided to stop the campaigns and organize our lives first. Because we have a very good friend in Rio called João Diamante. And in one of his speeches, he said to me, I was making a live with him, John, how much money did you put from your own pocket in this project? And it's a lot. So this is not right. I mean, if you want to be able to work as an association, as an organization, you have first to organize yourself to be able to help others. Otherwise, I mean, if you lose your job and you don't have any money, you're crushed, you cannot keep on helping them. So first, organize your company, organize your structure. And then this moment came. We decided to stop cooking. We decided to stop doing what we were doing to become what we need to become. So right now, I wrote some topics here. After speaking so much, I'm going to read because it's going to be easier to remember. Is it okay for you guys? Chloe cannot stand me talking anymore. So, to become an NGO focused on keeping these are our aims. To become an NGO focused on keeping its work against hunger, connecting local companies, chefs, restaurants, government, social organization as a huge strength to achieve these goals. Because this moment is very good to use so many hats, Q. Because I'm in the government, so I can do programs in the government. I'm in a private section. I'm at school. So right in this moment, we can connect many things. And this is amazing because people see what we do in these different fields. And whenever we come to speak about something, they know this guy, which is crazy, who does so many things, he's connecting things in a good way. So yes, I don't have weekends, I don't have social life, but it's been working so far. To be able to help smaller groups and associations to become legal and organized organizations ready to take a very important step towards financial system sustainability. Why so such a big word for such a sustentabilidade? Sounds so much better in Portuguese. But anyway, what we also saw, guys, is that a lot of money goes back, returns, or do not end up in small groups. Let's see my time. Because they are not organized enough, because they don't know how to write a project, because they know what to do when they're doing close to their biggest goals. But when it comes to bureaucracy, they just can't. And I see from Brazil, a lot of money is returned. I mean, does not come to the end because projects are not well. So one of our aims is also to not only to keep on cooking, but to organize those smaller associations to be able to be part of the circuit. I mean, I see so many discussions in the SGM group about funding, about crowdfunding, about this and that. And I mean, if you're not organized, you cannot be part. So let's take some of our time to organize those groups so that they can get a hold of it too. To interact with the communities, to understand their biggest problems apart from the hunger, and build projects with them instead of for them. And this is very important. Projects with them and not for them. That's what I just spoke about this right now. So one of our future aims is to create a place to interact with people, to have a full understanding of about what they really want. And I say it's not only, the solidarity is not only about hunger, it's about technology, it's about food, it's about knowledge, it's about respect, it's about many things. So let's take some time, not only for cook, but to understand so that we can be bigger in our aims. And to connect those already existing and new organizations with SGM to increase the power of this net to create both local and global impact in this fight against hunger, poverty, and social inequity, following the leads of the 17 ODS. So you see, when we decided to stop, it's because we thought we were just cooking. And this is not enough. I mean, you cook, you give them food, but the hunger is gonna be there for a long time. In order to make a real change, we have to think different. We have to think out of this box of cooking for people. And the opportunity that SGM is showing to connect, to discuss, to be able to bring our ideas in a global community is priceless. And that's why, I mean, we decided to do this. Let's stop. Let's understand. And that's why I'm here. I'm trying to listen and trying to understand what goes on around the world, to see if I'm going crazy. We're going cooking for people right now and understanding the real need, because we can be able to cook. We can cook anytime. We can tomorrow, we can get together and cook 1,000 meals. We've done this already, but there's another hunger that's in there. And then we come to our biggest, oops. Here. What did I do? Oh my God. Challenges. Yes, it's right. What are the challenges that we somehow face? Become an NGO focused on keeping its work again, yes. Focused on keeping its work against hunger, connecting local difficulties to reach communities due to violence and commands of local criminal organizations. Yes, it's very difficult to get into the communities, especially in our place. I don't know, in Rio must be the same, Q. But the city is all zoned in gangs and criminal organizations. And sometimes you cannot reach them. I mean, they're afraid. If they use blue, they cannot cross the street where people went red. And for us to come to them, it's a big challenge. So a part of our work is to create the connection and to be respected, not respected, that they can trust it to enter the community, to reach the part that really needs. So this is a big challenge, to break through these criminal organizations, to be close to the population. This is one big aim, big challenge. Unfamiliar, or another word that I hate, unfamiliarity with methods to be legally organized and thus become proper social work organizations despite their size. As I said, we understood that many have problems. So one challenge is to reach them and to help them to become stronger, you see? And that's why our beautiful Escola de Gastronomia Social is now beginning a very nice course directed to those small organizations to understand everything from the very beginning to the end. I mean, we have a goal, which is to produce 64,000 meals. And then I said to Selene, which is the director, let's not make only this. I mean, we can teach people how to cook in a week, but let's teach them how to deal with finances, how to deal with procurement, how to organize their company, how to understand how to get close to the social leaders. So the course that we are preparing is not for cooking, but to fight against those challenges that I'm presenting you now. So independent political actions, mostly during the pre-election period. What happens to those small communities? It comes a time of election in Brazil. Everybody wants to appear. They want to show the campaign. They want to show that they are close to people and everything else. So they can get a hold of a lot of money. I mean, the social organizations, they can get a hold of money in this period. But the only thing they can do with the money they get at this time is to cook. I mean, the moment the election is over and the money is over, they go back to the same situation, as we say in Portuguese, com pires na mão, with an empty dish in their hands, begging for money to develop their actions. So somehow this is a challenge, to make the small companies strong enough and organized enough to apply to funds internationally and nationally and locally, so that they won't have to depend 100% on this political help that comes eventually. And as last challenge, the lack of connection to be part of the nets like SGM and overcome their biggest problems and become financially self-sustainable. Because guys, I'm talking about, Q knows about my pain when I talk about this. The northeast of Brazil is somehow away from what happens in the south, in the southeast. And many times I said this word to Q already. We don't have a voice. You see, we cannot make people listen in where the money is, or the important part of Brazil. We cannot make people understand what we are, our needs, our demands. And if, I mean, I am organized, I can use a computer and everything else, cannot make myself heard, could not, because this has changed, isn't it, Q? It's changed already, that's why I'm here. Let alone those guys who are in the slums, who depend on political help. I mean, so one of our challenges is to bring those people to this net, which is so important. There is the barrier of the language, but I know that this group is in Portuguese as well, so people can be part of it. They can express themselves. They can say, we need more. We need somebody to hold our hand and take us with them. So for me, those are the biggest aims of our Auê do Amor. So as I said, I talk too much. I hope I was not boring, but I wanted to tell you a bit of the story of this group who decided to cook for people who need it and decided to become this different organization that is focused not only on cooking food, but understanding the needs of people who are going to eat our food. Because imagine this situation, you guys, that you're taking this beautiful plate of cozido with arroz and feijão and farofa de cuscuz. I'm sorry, this can only be said in Portuguese, otherwise it's not gonna taste the same. And then you take this and you're able to sit with this person next to you and talk to him or her and understand, I mean, when he finishes eating, you understand that, I don't know, I go to a church and those guys are doing this, but they can only do that once every 15 days when they have hunger. They're hungry every day. I mean, so this exchange is very important. And I really hope that with this connection that we're building here with the SGM, with this beautiful network that is appearing, that our voice in the northeast part of Brazil, in the north part of Brazil, can also be heard. And I've already been talking to some of those associations that I could be the one for now to hold their hands and bring them here, so that in future sessions, I can be here and my friend Rutênio, which is the very special one I mentioned in the beginning, that he can be with us and expressing himself. I mean, help us to open space for all those guys, because they need to be heard. This is us. See, I'm right here. That's me.
Well, Jerome, before we continue, I just wanted to thank you. Like, yeah, it was really touching to hear this story and your dedication to resilience and autonomy, because that's what I hear in all of your like talk, is how much you really want to become unnecessary, which is, you know, and you really want the importance for you. What I heard in everything you were saying was that to recognize the talents that are in these areas and to support the autonomy of these areas to be able to meet their own needs so that they're not dependent. And it's for that reason that you're looking to bring more official organization to so
Yes.
that the resources can flow to the people who already know how to take care of their communities. I'm going to run just a really quick poll right now. This is just for us to have feedback about the session and for us to.
Wait, don't you want to see my video?
I'm going to. We're going to come to the video. Trust me. I'm just going to do this part because this is the part where we all get to share. The people who are watching get to share a little bit about how the session was for them, and you get to see that it was not boring at all, and people were incredibly inspired.
That's very good.
So I'm just running that poll now. You want to show this video before we go? So do you want to get that video ready?
Yes, I guess I have it ready.
And Hafa's just joined us from Chile. He's saying hello.
Hafa, I'm really, really looking forward to be there. I mean, I love Chile. And talk more to you, Hafa. Let's stop sharing this. Okay, what stress you have? Yeah, that's me, beautiful. Stop sharing this. Let me get the video ready.
Joan, can I do something unorthodox? We're not meant to share the results of the poll, but you know, I feel like we should share the results, just so you know, because you kept saying it was boring, but I think I want you to see that's how people felt about the session today. So there were people who were really enjoying it.
I'm happy and very hot. It's very hot here today.
Okay.
Kiki, miss you. So let's
Same here.
let's see this video. I have to share screen again, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, share.
Well, do you want to take it back to the beginning, because so it loads up again, and we're not hearing the volume.
Yeah.
I'm not quite.
There's a setting when you share your screen where if you go to advanced sharing options, you share the sound from your computer.
Where can João find that on his screen?
There's a little arrow next to the green share screen. You click on that, there's advanced sharing options. It comes up. Oh, actually, sorry. I don't know where this is.
Chloe, you've also got the link.
Yes, it's loading.
Yeah. João, can you hear us?
Yes.
Do you want to take off shared screen? Chloe's going to share it, and so we can hear the audio, right?
How do I do it?
If you stop sharing your screen, Chloe's going to share the video. Is that
Okay,
okay,
perfect.
Chloe?
Done.
Okay.
Yeah, just a minute. The video made my laptop slow down.
I want to take this opportunity to just make a question, because we can't lose any time with this guy. He's incredible. I wanted to know, João, what hopes do you have in terms of collaborating with other sectors on this project? Because you are involved and you have a lot of trust from many of the different sectors. What hopes do you have in terms of the different sectors being involved with this initiative?
You mean the one that I just presented you?
Yeah, yeah.
What I'm best at is connecting people. You see, I have a very, very important ability to connect people to do things, to understand their biggest challenges and possibilities. And it would be crazy if I decided to do everything by myself. What I have is a global view. You see, I have a global view and I know many people. And from this, I can help to locate people in the way that they can be really, really useful. So this, for me, is my biggest role in this whole thing, is this connection. You see,
what are you needing right now? Like, what do you most need right now in terms of that?
You see, it's going, it's happening. I said that I needed was to share. Because we are becoming the association, we are going to be, we're writing the Estatuto and everything else. It's written already. We're going to officialize it until the end of the year. The things in the government are working properly. I mean, we have been able for the past 4 years to develop many projects concerning gastronomy and social gastronomy. So it's not that I don't need help. I do need help all the time. But in this very moment, I want to share what's being done, because sometimes I cannot see the help I need. And it might be right in front of me, and I just need a chance to, like in the mirror, you see yourself reflected, and then you see what could be better. So in this moment, my expectation is that this network grows so much, and that problems that I'm not seeing now, or solutions that other ones are not seeing, can be just shared.
João, I want to say how inspiring that is, because often when we think of visibility, we think we want visibility in order to get resources or something specific. And what I'm hearing is so much humility in your desire for visibility. It's like, maybe if other people see what I'm doing, they'll see something I'm not, and we'll make it even better than it already is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. Otherwise, you're focusing on yourself and not on your work, on the social work. Right. And this is not social at all.
Amazing. Chloe, how's the video coming along?
It's impossible for my laptop. I shared the link on the Zoom conversation if you all want to
I'm going to see if I can share it here now. Let me try. Is it in Portuguese, Ron?
Yes, I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's all right.
It's going to be in English.
We can help with that.
I'm taking some classes now to learn.
Is there anyone? Yeah, should we just take one more question while I load this up? Is there anyone that has a question they'd like to share with João? Nikki?
May I?
Yeah, go for it.
We said as a team we're not gonna be the first ones to talk, but I know we only have a few minutes. But João, one thing that I have a public policy background as well, and so for me, connecting the grassroots solutions and activists with public policy and with education is just such a winner. So I really would love to learn a little bit, like, what is your advice, how you moved that forward, how you got to a social gastronomy university. And again, coming back, the first statement you made, like when I called in, was making social gastronomy a public policy. So I think this is really intriguing to me.
Well, I was lucky enough to be invited by the government to think about gastronomy as public policy. So it was not that it started from zero, from scratch. I was living outside my city for 17 years. I lived 7 years in Europe and 10 years in São Paulo. And I was invited to come back to think astronomy as development. There's this very important festival called Fartura, and Juliana is here. She works for this project as well. And from it, I mean, we decided to support as government this festival that was spreading gastronomy and food culture around the country. And from this moment, I saw myself in the government, and I understood, guys, there is so much here that can be done, that just being part of a festival and showing how people cook. I mean, and that's how we started the whole thing, by looking at the details. And since I was in the government, this gave me the chance to take every detail that I saw and make it very important. The School of Gastronomy, social gastronomy, happened in a way that our government in these days is very focused on the social. And we understood that gastronomy could be a very important way to change people's life in a way that it happens fast, especially when you're fighting poverty. Imagine that today I know nothing. I go to school with Selene, with Lena, with everybody else there, and I learn how to make bakes. When I leave, I can make bakes for a living, and I'm not that poor anymore. So this has been happening for the past 2 years. So Nick, it's very delicate and complicated to answer you in such few moments, because we created in 4 years a very large connection from agriculture to school, from public policy to oh my God, how to say this in English? Anyway, we created a connection, and we happened to create also tools. For example, we created the first chamber of gastronomy of Brazil is here. It's a chamber in which public, government, social services, big companies, they're all together discussing how to make gastronomy be like this power of economy in this state. This is very important. It has nothing to do with social gastronomy, but at the end it does, because it's the same sector. And whatever comes from this, I mean, if the restaurants are going okay, I have more jobs for my students at school. If we invest more in local products, I mean, we want to, you know, hit this flag of Brazilian foods. They're good. Our producers are gonna get more money. I mean, so this is a whole connection. That's my job. That's why when Q asked, how do I want to help? I mean, it's making this connection. I would need maybe a whole session to explain how we develop public policy here. I hope to see you when we talk.
Deal. We will do a session talking about public policy.
Please, it's very, very important. Very important. We have the video.
Do. Yes, we do. Let me share this now. You seeing? Is this you seeing this?
It's
like a little.
It's only black. Yes. Oh my God. There's no audio cue.
There's no audio.
No.
Before sharing it, when you are sharing it, you can put the option to put your audio with.
Yeah, the sorry about this, guys. The options here says the arrow that I was told to click has one participant can share at a time, multi participants can share, and advanced options, and it doesn't say anything about audio.
I think just Chloe has that option because she's the host.
Wait, I'm changing you.
Yeah,
No,
I
you're
will
gonna make me host.
Yeah, you
We're
are.
gonna get there.
Yeah,
we're
you
gonna
have the power now.
persistence. Drone knows about persistence, don't you?
Yeah.
Am I now host?
Yeah, you have the power now.
I have the power, but I'm still not seeing anything that says anything about audio. Maya, if seeing as you seem to know about this,
I think Maya left, but when you click on share screen, on the bottom of the screen that will pop out, there's the share computer sound.
oh, okay. Thank you. That is the one. We're there. We're there, people. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad.
Esse é o Huawei do Amor e hoje a gente está trabalhando com mais de 20 comunidades. A gente trabalha com duas frentes principais, a doação de alimentos prontos e a doação de mantimentos. E a ideia é que a gente não pare tão cedo. Existe uma meta que a gente quer atingir o mais breve possível, que é de distribuir 50 toneladas de alimentos não perecíveis, né? Com a graça das doações, né? E da força dos voluntários. Cada vez que eu penso nisso, eu penso no tamanho da responsabilidade que a gente tem com a possibilidade de ajudar tanta gente. E também penso na dificuldade que as pessoas têm e que tinham mesmo antes da pandemia e que só com a pandemia a gente foi convidado com urgência, né, a olhar para o lado e ver o que a gente podia fazer por essas pessoas.
Eu estou muito feliz, para mim é uma realização, assim, tá podendo fazer a minha parte, né?
Para a gente foi uma alegria muito grande, assim, poder conseguir ajudar um projeto tão bonito como esse. E aí a gente está fazendo uma campanha junto com nossos clientes para que eles possam doar pães através da gente. Agora a gente está trazendo aqui 495 pães.
Então, assim, toda semana chega mais e a gente fica tão feliz com isso. E esses pães acompanham as porções de sopa que a gente leva para as comunidades.
Só é possível também com a ajuda das pessoas, em forma de doações. Porque a gente está aqui nessa linha de frente, mas a gente precisa que as pessoas que estão em casa, elas também sintam esse desejo de ajudar.
Pensando em organizar para que todas as quentinhas tenham mais ou menos a mesma quantidade.
A gente trabalha por doação. Tem muita gente aderindo ao nosso programa com insumos. Então a gente tem tido a grande sorte de receber muita coisa orgânica, muitos legumes orgânicos. E como a gente tem que tirar o máximo possível de tudo isso, de tudo que é doado, porque a gente quase tem que tirar leite de pedra para transformar o que a gente recebe no máximo possível de unidade de refeição.
Hoje a gente tem parceiros institucionais e parceiros pessoa física, né? O que a gente mais precisa são de valores em dinheiro que vocês podem depositar numa conta que está disponível. E a gente também recebe todo tipo de alimento, tanto de um só, de um em um. Se você quiser doar 1 quilo de feijão, você pode ir na Casa Elabore, que é na Aldeota, ter esse ponto de entrega, né? E também acima de 50 quilos de qualquer alimento. Você fala com a gente por telefone, existe um telefone para você falar por WhatsApp, né? E a gente vai pegar. Cada alimento que chega aqui nessa cozinha é acima de 50 quilos, a gente cria uma receita para aproveitar esse alimento. Hoje que vocês estão aqui, vocês estão vendo aí que a gente recebeu muita banana de uma doação do Denox e que elas vão virar bolo, elas vão virar sobremesa para as quentinhas, elas vão virar outras receitas aqui dentro da cozinha. Então, você pode ser doador de tudo. Se tiver alguma coisa sobrando, ligue, porque às vezes a gente nem sabe que precisa, mas quando você liga, a gente acha um jeito de fazer isso chegar na mão de quem precisa, né? A gente tem também muitas comunidades que tem muitos idosos e muitas crianças, a gente está sempre de olho nessas populações e acho que ainda tem muita coisa para fazer. Então, quer doar, a gente quer receber.
E assim a gente vai viver. Eita, que sopa linda! Yay! Thank you, guys. I'm so touched right now. This has been the very beginning.
Amazing, João.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Does anyone want to share something before we close?
I just want to say, I speak Italian, so I still understood some of the words. Super. It was great.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, all.
Does anyone else want to share anything before we go?
Just leave my contact. I don't know how you guys can reach me in case you want to talk to me or ask more questions. We have more time. I mean, I'm open and I'm here. As I said, that's all I.
João, put your contact details in the chat as well.
Okay.
But, oh yes, perfect. Thank you. And Chloe, can you share the last slide? I just want. Yeah, you can find João if we're part of the members for the SGM. We have a map, and all of the members that are on the map, they can contact each other. It's a way of connecting each other on the map, and they have their emails and their contact details. It was one of the reasons we created the map, was so that people could contact each other with more ease and search for people that are doing similar things. So
I've tried to write my. It's gonna work.
And also just to say that as part of SGM, we're always looking for new partners to support us to be able to continue to do this work of connecting people. The work that João does at a local level, we're kind of doing at a global level. So we're all trying to connect and be able to work better together. So yeah, this is the map that we have. So you can see people by geography, but I think João also put his details in the chat. João, thank you so much.
I thank you guys very much.
Big inspiration, really.
Thank you so much.
It was lovely. It was lovely. Thank you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.